How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. Even though it did have a red day, we still saw a bullish sign. We ended up forming a higher low. So that's why I want to make sure you guys are prepared as far as for the rest of this week. Also talk about some more details. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.57, being down 3.75%. On the low, it tested $2.51, and then on the high, testing $2.69. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 11.226 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 12.584 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 49.46. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, but we are above the 21-day EMA. And as far as for the 50-day, we just closed below it. It is at 262, and we closed at 257. So right away, taking a look at the technicals, BBIG is still on a decent uptrend after forming higher lows for the past 4 trading days. So now we have some selling that is coming in. We ended up seeing a low at $2.51. So going into tomorrow, we want to see 250 continuing to hold. If it can continue to hold, especially if we see a lot of strength inside of the markets, then I want to see BBIG making that move for where it can get above $2.69, which was the high of the day. Because if we can break above this level, I'd want to see us get to $2.85, which puts us right at the 100-day moving average. And I know if we could build support here, have some consolidation, we could look forward to that move to $3. I talked about how $3 is a psychological area. There's going to be many that are going to be looking to take profits and so forth, and that's why volume is very key. You can notice as far as on the day, we did have below average volume, but again, tomorrow, seeing how much buying comes into the tech sector could easily change that. Now, if we do pull back, like I stated previously, if we go down into the 240 range, we would have to hold this particular area. But as far as for a day trade is concerned, I would be setting up stops around 230. Again, the reason why I'm emphasizing this is in regards to risk management. I know some of you like to swing this play throughout the day. So that's why I would say we want 240 to actually hold up. But again, if it goes and breaks below 240, it is showing a lot of weakness. So let's see if it could hold 250 going into tomorrow to see if we can get that potential move to 285 for this week. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So taking a look at the recent filings for May the 3rd, we have Advanced Capital Management Inc. that purchased 13,848 shares. We also have a closed position for calls from Verichin Fund Management LLC. And if we take a look at Platform Technology Partners, we could see that they have 10,000 shares, pretty much a value of 32,000. And you can see it's an increased position by 33%. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 51.28%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 5.24 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 350,000, updated 24 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 33.5%. 33.23%, with a high of the day of 33.66%. Taking a look at the history of the short volume, you can see for the close of the 29th, it is at 51.54, and then for the close of the second, being at 51.28. So right away, taking a look at the short interest percentage of the flow at 15.47%, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflow, it was at 5.96 million, and on the outflow, it was at 5.09 million. So we end up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 3.79 million. And then on the small, it was 2.17 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 3.17. And then on the small, it was 1.92. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for May the 3rd, we had 0. And for May the 2nd, we had 0 as well. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then taking a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then taking a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds. Of course, you can see we had 0 on both sides. And then taking a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.01%. And this is not too bad for a volatile stock like BBIG. We also did see below average volume on the day, and we've been seeing a lot of choppiness in the market, especially for today. So that's why we're going to be talking about some more details and the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action in a technical sense, we continue to look strong. Even though we did have a red day, we've been forming higher lows for the past 4 trading days. So that's why I was saying, as long as we're staying above $2.40, things are going to be looking good for this play. We did end up testing support around $2.51. So I want to see $2.50 hold. But at least if we can continue to hold above $2.48, that is still great as well. Have some consolidation, get us ready for the next move up. What could that potentially look like? I know many of you can agree with me on this one, but I want to see BBIG making that move going to around $2.85 and then making that move going to $3. We know that $3 is a psychological area. So that's why I was saying volume is very important. We need to have that buying pressure coming into the play, because if it does get there and we have a lot of selling pressure, we could experience another pullback. So add that to your homework. As far as for the downside, since we are going to be having some volatility in the markets for tomorrow, just to quickly go over it again, we have Jerome Powell that's going to be coming out, and he's going to let us know, is he going to be sticking with the 50 basis points? If that's going to be the case, then I'm looking for a rally in the market. But if he ends up actually being hawkish, or he goes above that 50 basis points, that's where I can see the market falling off a cliff, or I should say a lot more fear coming into the markets, and many stocks like BBIG will pull back. But again, I'd want to see if that does occur, if it could stay above 240. But so far right now, it is continuing to be on a strong uptrend. So let's see what happens, and let's see what Jerome Powell actually comes out with. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see institutions have loaded up on shares. And then taking a look at the short interest information, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. So that's why I was saying we need to have the buying pressure coming into the play to move this stock in the direction where we want it to go, especially getting to $3. That is a very key level. But I feel we can get some more updates in regards to the spin-off. We're talking about Cryptide here. I feel that will get the stock moving, and I know a lot of traders could agree with me on this. And if you are a long-term investor inside of this play, you already know already, if the market does decide to fall off a cliff, that's an opportunity for you to go alongside with your high conviction and add more to the play. Of course, this is not financial advice, but I'm just breaking it down clear here. But as far as for my traders, if you're not trying to spend a lot of time inside this play and you're in other plays inside of the markets, I highly suggest you use the right risk management, making sure you have a stop loss in place and having a good idea of where those levels you want to see BBIG actually go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs for the next trading day. We'll talk soon.